Welcome back in, you guys, to One Piece Chapter 1172 Predictions. You guys know the drill. I like to throw up 9 random predictions as to what we could see next chapter. This is all for fun and games, right? This is just to get the conversation rolling while One Piece is on break. But yes, without further ado, before we hop into it, we always like to go back to the week prior just to see how many we got correct and or wrong. So, getting right into it, look at that. My first prediction was actually somewhat correct. I thought that during this flashback, or even present in Elbaf, we would see Garling and or Shamrock. And we got it. Of course, it was just one panel, but we did get Garling, and we saw the type of dad he is, right? He loves Shanks, man. He had his arms wide open saying, "Shanks, whatever you want, buddy, I'll give it to you. It'll be within your reach, son. I'm sorry you live such an awful life." So yes, we did get that Garling cameo. Next up, I thought that the flashback would continue until the end of the chapter. This didn't happen. You could argue that I got this one correct, but personally, when I wrote this down, I thought that the flashback would end on the last page. But nope, halfway through the chapter, it ended. So I am going to be strict and not count that one as a W. So on to the next couple of predictions. Let's just go ahead and mark all of these off at once. Because let me tell you guys, we did not continue that Loki flashback. No. Right when Loki left to go fight the WG, 14 years ago, Oda said, "That's it, guys. You don't have to see anything else. We're going to stop it right there," which is a little bit unfortunate. I feel like by the end of Elbaf, we still might get that story. We'll hear what Loki's been doing for the past 14 years. But for now, Oda is still keeping that a mystery. Next, I said that we're not going to get any Devil Fruit transformation. And of course, Oda did indeed blue ball us. This is the Oda classic. I gave this one a 100% chance of happening. Because let's be real, Oda loves the mysteries. If Oda can silhouette something, he's gonna do it. If Oda can just, fondle us for a little bit longer, he's gonna do it. And that's what he did, right? He showed us Niflheim. He also teased a jumping-flying ability, and it's like, okay, yeah, he's having fun with this one, brother. He is laughing his way to the bank. Next, I thought that we could see Shanks versus Loki, just because, that would explain how he got brought back to Elbaf. But didn't happen. Again, I still think we're going to get all of the Loki sailing adventure at the end of Elbaf. But kind of like what Hiruden said in this chapter, we don't have time for more flashbacks. It's time to just get the move on and save Elbaf. And I agree. With how long we've been in the flashback, I'm cool with ending it right here and now, as long as we tackle it later. Because I do think Shanks versus Loki is going to be a big plot point. Did Shanks outright beat Loki? Was it a fair battle? Was it a Davy back fight? Did they have some sort of agreement? What was Shanks' demeanor while they were fighting? Did he apologize to Loki? Did he tell Loki his reasoning? Where did they fight even? There's a lot of questions about it that I think the fan base in general would love to have answered. So, on to my next prediction. I said that Hiruden might ignore the truth. And that's simply because Hiruden, up until this very chapter, always said that Loki was a liar. Don't believe a single word Loki says. He's gonna just lie right out of his teeth. But he actually believed Loki almost immediately. He was like, "Oh, wow, this is crazy." Scopper said, "Yeah, Loki's telling the truth." And then Hiruden immediately unlocked the chains. Love to see it. I'm glad I was wrong on this one. I'll say that. I'm glad my prediction was off the mark, because I think this does set up the brotherly bond for the future of Elbaf. And I would love to see Hiruden and Loki team up here in the Sun Realm as well. I would love to see a brotherly Hakuaku sovereignty. So, my last prediction was that we could get a Mosa mention. I wasn't super confident in this one, mainly because that would mean that we'd have to see Loki while he was chained up, and I feel like that's where the flashback would have ended. But the possibility was there, right? If we ever go back and get that Shanks versus Loki portion of the flashback, and we see Loki chained up in the underworld, maybe we will see where Mosa came from. We'll hear about where Mosa's at. We could get the whole Mosa breakdown later as well. But for now, that did not happen. 2 out of 9, not bad. I feel like 2 out of 9 is usually where I jump around, 2 or 3 out of 9, and that's totally fair. Like I said, this is all for fun and games. I highly doubt there will ever be a week where I get 9 out of 9. That would be absolutely insane. But with that being said though, guys, time to get to the 1172 predictions. And of course, because it is a break week, I had time to bring in the legendary Zonin for a collab prediction video. So you guys enjoy. Again, guys, we are joined by the mighty Zonin for our prediction video this week. We got a break week before 1172 drops. So with it, Zonin, I gotta ask you, what are your predictions for this upcoming chapter? What are you expecting to see walking into next week's pages?
So in preparation for this, I read the last like 6 chapters, not counting the flashback, but like the last actual 6 chapters of what had happened to Elbaf leading up to this. And there's so much going on, like in the Sun Realm or whatever the top realm is, where everything is happening right now with the Holy Knights and the Dami Reversi Giants, and Emu's there. I'm assuming we're going to come back to that. That is like the first and foremost, that needs to be addressed. We need to see what's going on there, because also in the latest chapter, the Draugr fell down. And it's like, why did that happen? I think we're going to find out that. So we're going to come back to there and we're going to see what's going on.
Oh, that's actually a really good point. I never really stopped and wondered why it fell down. I was just like, what an idiot. You know, like, there's probably not a lot of good footing up there when you really think about it, right? Because it's just trees and clouds. Like, I'm sure there's holes somewhere, like, in between the branches, the Draugr's just like, Yeah.
Whoops.
Huh. Yeah, did somebody beat the Draugr and then it fell down? Like, maybe, I guess Frankie could be a good candidate. Maybe some random giants. Maybe Yarul, dude. Which brings me to my first prediction. We're going to take turns going back and forth here. Mine is that Yarul is going to get cooked.
By who?
Dory, Brogy, Emu. That was the whole mission, right? Emu was like, hey, Dory, Brogy, kill Elder Yarul. And then they were like, yep, sure, why not? Let's kill Yarul. And then Yarul said, hey, I'm not going to run. It's like, okay, I think Yarul is... I can't imagine Yarul winning against Domi, Reversi, Dory, and Brogy. I'm sorry, guys. I thought he would look really good in the flashback. He looked okay. But, you know, power-wise, like, he only got older, only got, you know, more decrepit. I don't think he's winning.
No. When you said that he looked okay in the flashback, I'm thinking, like, he, like, stabbed Harold in the back.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, he didn't look amazing. But, you know, he was there. You know, he did better than some of the soldiers. Like, I'll give him that.
No, but I say that just, I'm just asking. I'm like, did he do something that I missed?
Yeah, no named attacks, no nothing.
I mean, he survived getting stabbed in the head. That's pretty impressive in itself.
But that's the helmet. He said it's the helmet that did it for him, though. It's not even a Yarl feat. So what's your second prediction for Elbaf?
All right, so this is going to be controversial.
I
hope it is. So in the official translation from Viz that just came out on Sunday, Loki does in fact say, you guys go on ahead. I can fly up there. I think we're going to see him sprout some wings.
Yeah, I think Loki could fly. That's really nice. But I just feel like Oda might blue ball us again. You know Oda, dude. He teases you one minute. The next minute, he just doesn't do anything. I think there's a good chance we just see Loki and Luffy in the Sun Realm, and we don't see them fly. Like, they just pop up.
I was hoping for a nice middle ground to where he just sprouts wings. You know, like, we don't see anything else from the fruit. It's just like the wings come out, and I was like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. We don't have to see what the fruit is yet. You don't have to tell us, but maybe we just see the wings. But now that you mention that, yeah, I can just see him just appearing up there with Luffy.
Yeah, I want you to be right, though. Don't get me wrong. I want you to be right, and I want to see Loki's wings, but will Oda do it? I mean, I guess we do have a break week, so, you know, that could be it, where Oda's like, okay, like, the tease is going to be the break week, and then after that, we'll just rip it off. I hope, man. I hope. So, for my second prediction, I put down we're not going to see Loki's form. He's going to keep us speculating on Loki's Devil transformation until Loki starts actually fighting. Like, the minute he runs into Dorian, Brogy, or Emu, then we'll see it for sure. But I feel like next chapter is mainly going to be a setup for the fights. So, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's... I guess, more likely than seeing it at this point.
So what do you got next?
So I'm hoping that Jinbei does something, because rereading those chapters, it was kind of annoying me that the Straw Hats, they're literally just like sitting there like this, like tied up, and they're just like, oh, that sucks. Like Jinbei says something like, oh, this situation's getting hairy or something like that. Like when all of the chaos is happening, Jinbei's just like, well, that sucks. I'm like, dude, do something.
Yeah, that's kind of
What are
funny,
you
man.
doing?
They had Jinbei up there. They were trying to fight Gunkko, but Gunkko really just did him in. And the next thing you know, they're all captured. And it's like, dang, really? Like, one of the warlords captured that easily by Gunkko? I don't know, man. And then, you know, St. Somers is there now, too. So I do wonder. I hope Jinbei does something. I'm kind of scared because I feel like he might have had his moment already. Where, like, he put out the giant fire and it's like, oh, big moment. The firefighters couldn't do it, but here comes Jinbei. I hope he gets more than that.
Man, is that what Jinbei is regulated to in these arcs now? Just putting out fire? Because he like did that in Wano too.
He's a fisherman, dude. You know, whenever there's a fire, you just get Jinbei. And then even on Egghead, Jinbei was relegated.
Did he put out the fire on Egghead too?
No, he was even worse. He was on box duty. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Vegapunk said, "Hey, bring my things to the ship." And then Jinbei was like, "Yeah, I got you, Vegapunk. I'll deliver the boxes to the Thousand Sunny." And it's like, wow, really? That's what Jinbei's doing right now?
Yeah. Oh man, I had such high hopes for him.
Yeah, I hope he does something. I'll say that.
I want to bring up that panel. It's just so funny. He's just like, oh, well, this situation's getting hairy.
Yeah, I think that was like the main takeaway. Everybody was essentially like, yo, Jinbei, do something. Like, what do you mean this situation's getting hairy? Brother, you're a warlord, man. Come on.
Yeah.
You got like a billion berry bounty. You're just gonna take this? And it's not even Sea Stone. I think that's like the craziest part. If it was Sea Stone, it's like, okay, you can't really break it. Nobody's broken Sea Stone outright. Sure, like, yeah, Jinbei might not be able to get out of it, even though he doesn't have a devil fruit, right? And it's like, bro, no, it's just devil fruit stuff, you know. It's
yeah, you can just
the
hockey
Gunkko bandages. Yeah, just hockey through it, man. You got really good hockey. What's going on here? For my next prediction, I got Ripley versus Somers.
What makes you think that?
So as we speak, Sanji and Scopper are going up to Colin, which we know that Somers is shepherding the kids right now. But before they get there, I think Ripley's going to fight Somers, mainly because she was another character also heading towards Colin. She's worried for her son, so I think that will put her in his pathway. And yeah, I think it would be a great scene. And of course, you know, if Ripley loses, which I think she will, that could be a boost for Sanji. Like, Sanji shows up, and then Sanji locks in because a woman's getting hurt. I think it just fits really well. And, you know, Ripley is touted as a pretty decent fighter. She's one of the last warriors on the island, so yeah, I would love to see what she's all about.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I was like trying to remember, like, what was Ripley doing? And I guess that does make sense.
The last thing she said was that she wanted to go save Colin. So yeah, I think the fight's going to be going down. Maybe we'll just like cut to the end of the fight. You know, we don't have to like see a full drawn out battle, like just a couple blows here or there. And then Ripley's tied up just like the rest of them. And then in comes Sanji and Scopper, and boom. You know, Sanji's going to burn through all the thorns or something like that. I think that's a shoo-in. You know, just... Oh, yeah, I guess, like, seeing the kids just be up there, too. Because it's been a while since we've seen the hostages, so that'll be nice.
So here's my boldest one.
Okay.
I think you said, what are we doing, 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see Emu. Like, present-day Emu in Gunkko, because they're still there. They said that they were going to stick around to see what the Giants are capable of. And also, they wanted to break Elbaf's will or whatever. So I think we are going to see Emu, and then maybe they do something. I don't want to push it too much, but just I think we will see Emu in this chapter.
Oh, I think that's a giveaway, yeah. I think the chances of seeing Emu are just so high. Like, there's no reason not to. I mean, they're like the main antagonist here. They're not like exactly hiding either. They're literally just like floating in the air giving orders. So it's like, yeah, I think we'll see Emu. I honestly kind of want to see Emu Domi reversing more people. Not giants or whatever, like all of them are being Domi reversing. I would love to see some of the Straw Hats get Domi reversing. Which would be my prediction next, actually. Just Domi reversing Straw Hats. Like whether it's Usopp, could be Jinbe even, which would be hilarious. Yeah, I think it could happen. I mean, they're all literally tied up right next to Emu. Unless there's like a stipulation for Domi Reverse we don't know about yet, because people were saying, oh, it's Homeland, it's Conquer's Hockey, it's maybe this, it's that. We don't know yet for sure. That's still like a big question. So maybe Emu can't, and we'll see like the limits of it. But yeah, I think my my last prediction there would be good old Domi Reversey Straw Hats. What do you think about that? Would you want anybody to get turned?
Yeah, I want to see Usopp get Dami reversied. So he actually, does something, and maybe he has to get beat down or something. I think it would be fascinating if any of the Straw Hats get Dami reversied. But when you were speaking of the conditions of it, so rereading the chapters, Emu has like another covenant outside of the three that were established in the flashback. It's the diabolical covenant, which makes you Dami reversing. And it seems like she just forces that on Dory. Like he doesn't agree to anything. She just starts talking. She's like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and then in exchange for some of thy lifespan, you'll get powers or whatever. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And then she does diabolical covenant, and the sigil forms around him. She like shoots his hand, and then he becomes Dami Reversing. So it's like, what is even the requirements of that? So seemingly he didn't agree to anything. I mean, Rox didn't agree to anything either. So the only two things in common that they were in their homeland, which still could be a part of it. Rox was in God Valley, and then Dory's in Elbap. But then also they were under duress. They were like angry at Emu. So maybe that has something to do with it. Or maybe they need to be wounded as well, because that's another factor. Like she shot Dory's hand, and then she stabbed Rox. So it's like there's so many things that there's in common now that they could all, maybe it's all of them. But that we didn't see the diabolical covenant used on Rox. It kind of just happened to him. But we specifically saw the diabolical covenant happen on Elbaf. So I think that would be really interesting if she just goes up to the Straw Hats and is like, diabolical covenant.
Yeah. I would love to see if there's like more transformations as well. Because, in the Japanese, I believe Emu calls it Curl, which is like one of these like alien monsters. And that's when Dory and Brogy turn into like the winged imp devil creature that they are today. So I would love to see if there's like other forms of those contracts. Like, oh, like we'll turn Usopp into this monster, Nami's this monster. Like they're all a little bit different. I think that'd be cool. Of course, it would beg the question of how the hell do we fix this? Because we still, like, even though Scopper gave us the answer on how to hurt the God Knights, it's not like we put that into practice yet. Right? It's not like Zoro's just going to come up here, start cutting everybody, and it works, right? Like, we still have to master these abilities. So if the Strides get Domi reversed, I feel like that would just be really tough. Unless Loki could just, like, automatically just boom, 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 and it's fine. But even then, we saw what happened, right? He killed King Harold, so it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I want Loki to fight, like, Domi reversing Usopp. Like, whoa, Loki, please don't kill him. Like,
smacks Nami.
Yeah, he saves them by sending them to the afterlife, essentially. So that's a tough one. I guess that's, like, the one downside. Unless we like find a way to send Emu home, or we find like another workaround. Who knows? Nika could still be like a main weakness to the Covenant. Like Nika is the liberator, so Luffy just frees them all. Now this brings us to like the final guess. But if we see Gunkko Emu, I think we could get a nice Brooke moment. Maybe Brooke calls out to Gunkko, say, "Hey Gunkko, this isn't you. Stop it. What's happening?" Because, we got that little scene where, Gunkko was running to Brooke, and Brooke kind of started remembering her a little bit. Like, hey, are you... I would love it if we got a thing where Brooke just yells out. And maybe that even, like, disrupts Emu. Because Gunkko starts, like, fighting back, or the memories start flooding back, and Emu's like, wait a minute, like, what's going on here?
I was reading that, too. And when one of the kid giants calls out Daddy, I think it's Colin. maybe when Scopper gets stabbed with the arrows, and Daddy like triggers Gunko to like come back to their real senses. And then I think it's funny when they go over to Brooke, who is like a skeleton with a helmet on at this point. It's like, are you Brooke? So it's like, are they aware of what's going on? Like, do they have the pre-established memory of meeting Brooke earlier on in the arc? Because otherwise, there's no way that you would know that that's Brooke, because it's a freaking skeleton with a helmet on. So you wouldn't know that is like the Brooke from when you were a child. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking, but I guess we're just led to believe that they are still like aware of what's going on. Is it like Get Out, as to where she is aware of what's going on, but she's taken over by the evil personality or whatever? Regardless, I would like to see more Brooke stuff, because that's integral to Brooke's character, other than his whole backstory with the Rumpar pirates and Laboon. Apparently he was like a part of like a royal guard in a kingdom or something. Is that what the speculation is?
I think he said it out right, that he was a part of a Knights Cavalry.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
he did
in the
say
West
that.
Blue.
Okay.
Before he became a pirate, so we'll get that backstory here, I bet.
That seems to be where Gunko came from or something. I mean, that's the implication here. But then again, it's like that's breaking Emu's control, which would be crazy.
There's got to be some way to send Emu home, whether it's Gunko doing it by like remembering Brooke and getting her memories back. Could be like a God Knight gets killed. Could be somebody pulls Emu back and they're in the Holy Land, like in that flower room. I think there's a lot of ways to send Emu packing.
That is it. I think so, because there's something happening at Marijois right now. It's burning.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody attacked it or something. So I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to bring Emu's attention back, because Emu can only stay here for so long. And I was really curious. It's like, are we going to see Luffy meet Emu in this arc? And I was wondering, like, it is possible. But I think Oda maybe wants to save that, because they're not going to fight.
I mean, it could be like a Kaido thing where, Kaido showed up very early on in Wano, whooped Luffy, and then Kaido just left. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go home now. See you guys later. Could be like that.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind if Luffy gets beaten, because I don't want Oda to keep doing this thing where he builds up these antagonists and they just get mopped. You know, like the Gorosei were built up for over 20 years, and then they didn't really have a good debut at Egghead, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just feel like Luffy is kind of just riding the high gear fifth. He hasn't really been challenged ever since he unlocked it. Like Kaido did, but gear fifth is so tough because you can't really tell when it's losing. Like, you could smack Luffy black and blue, and he's just laughing at you, man. He's spanking his ass cheeks, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, that's funny, I guess. But, like, I do miss the days of, like, tension where it's like, oh, shit, like, like Luffy's, he's 10% HP, he's barely standing. Oh, my God. Like, I kind of want that back to some extent. So I think it'd be cool if, like, oh, yeah, Emu is the one who finally starts putting Joy Boy or Luffy down, which makes sense because, obviously Emu fought Joy Boy in the past. He knows what these powers are. So, yeah, if there was one person in the world to beat Luffy in Gear 5th, it's Emu, because they have experience. And I think that'd be fire.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it just builds up the inevitable confrontation between them two. It's like, okay, Luffy got beat down by Emu. Now we're seeing how strong they are. I mean, we already know they're strong, but we really need to see it by them just like low diffing Luffy. And it's like, okay, now I need to get this much stronger or something.
Yeah, and then Luffy gets another power up, and then he masters his fruit. That's just the classic shonen stuff. Not saying Luffy's gonna, like, be dead on this island or, like, lose vehemently. I just think Emu's gonna do really well in the battle, and then Luffy's gonna be like, okay, I need to get stronger. I think there's nothing wrong with that. That's just classic shonen, I think. That's classic One Piece in general, too. We've had that many times.
Yeah, I'm on board with it. I think Luffy needs to be humbled, because he just hasn't been in a very long time, surprisingly.
Yeah, we rode the Yonko trail for a while. I think it's time we just... I mean, of course, Emu's like the big bad villain, too, so, like, it makes sense. Like, if there's one person to do it, it's really just them.
I thought it was going to be Shanks, but I guess Emu would be fitting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. With that being said, though, guys, let us know what you think about all these predictions down below. Make sure to check out Zonin as well. He's another fellow leaker. He's fast as hell. But yeah, we'll end it here. You guys take care. Thanks for watching again. Peace out.